my side. Nobody to console me, nobody to call me. Hey, what the man you got coma?
Hi ninjas, how are you doing? It's a girl, Owamie, and welcome back to another episode of To Hell and Back. If it's the first time joining us, you must definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you. And ninjas, if you'd like to also be part of our show, there'll be numbers here. Please do make sure that you send a WhatsApp message and our team will get back to you and organize so that you can come and be part of our show. I also would like to address something. I've seen some of you guys complain, why don't you just let people speak with their own mother tongue? Just get somebody that is going to do the subtitles. They charge about 6,000 rands for a 10-minute video. And those are the affordable ones. So,
no.
Thank you. Do you understand?
It's a no.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's just a matter of I cannot afford it, you know. If I had a big production, I could, and if I could, I would. But unfortunately, right now at this point, I just cannot afford it, okay? If you guys would like to help and donate so that we get someone to do that, that's also absolutely welcomed. You know, one ninja can organize and we do that. But unfortunately, at my own financial capacity, I'm just not there yet. So I hope that this does clear a bit of some stuff. But anyway, ninjas, today we have got the gorgeous Constance. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you? Owamie?
I'm fine, thank you. You have such beautiful teeth.
For real?
I'm telling you.
I think my sister keeps telling me that.
Yo, you have. I feel like I'm teeth obsessed. You have such beautiful teeth. And they're all there. They seem to be all there.
So I took out one.
Okay.
My teeth are deco because they don't really work properly. They're not quite strong.
Well, that makes me feel better. I'm sorry. That makes me feel better. I'm kidding, guys. But I have so many missing teeth that I'm just like... Yeah, they're so beautiful. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Wow, you're so beautiful. I keep on just, I don't know, I'm mesmerized.
Thank you.
Am I making you feel uncomfortable?
I am nervous as hell right now.
No, don't be.
Okay.
Don't be. But anyway, for all of us out there, ninjas, would like to just know, can we start off, who is Constance? Where were you born? Siblings? Any kids?
All right. Constance is a young lady that was born and grew up at Kapani. It's a place around Zanin.
Okay.
So I completed my matric there and I went to University of Limpopo. That's when I completed my studies. I've got 2 kids. And soon after I completed my studies, I decided to relocate to Joburg. So I had a family comprised of a man and kids, but now everything is splitting apart. Yes, and that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Yes.
Okay. Do you still have your parents? How many siblings do you have?
I have a beautiful family, Owamie.
Okay.
My family is a very supportive family. If we were to switch lives and we re-choose who you'd want to be paired with, I would still choose each and every one of them.
Wow.
I have my big sister. I've got my little sister. And my big sister has got 2 kids. They are my family. As close as I am with my brother, I am as close with the child of my big sister. My little sister does not have kids so far, and I've got 2. So
Okay.
it's a big family.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful family. We support each other throughout the way.
You are actually one of the lucky ones.
I know.
Yeah.
That's so
So
true.
in that aspect, yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's get into why you wrote to us.
Okay.
This is the part where now I also start stirring my tea.
It needs some sipping.
It needs some sipping, you know. And by the way, I did offer her tea. She opted for water, so she has water next to her.
Yes. Yo, Owamie, I always watched your channel. I loved you instantly because of your bubbly.
Thank
you are
you.
open, you are authentic, you
Thank
are real.
you.
So I loved you instantly and I started following you. Whenever I am busy cleaning, I listen to your podcast. And never ever imagined that I'll be sitting here.
Ne. Wow.
Because my life was beautiful. I enjoyed each and every single part of it. I was growing beautifully. There was no step that I could wish to change. So I wrote because everything turned and twisted in a way that I could not really understand. And along those turns and twists, I realized also the other side of the villages and how people live. I think what I went through, I could have dealt with it. But it's the responses of the society that made me to be shocked. And I'm still shocked. So I'm here because I'm shocked of everything that a woman goes through and how the society end up dealing with it and reacting towards it. Where I'm coming from, as in Kapani. We have a decent infrastructures where like there is support for women. And where I suffered abuse, it's a certain country on its own. So I just feel like I can share my experiences and perhaps it can raise awareness out there to young girls who are in this kind of villages to know that if they are suffering from what I went through on a day, imagine I feel this way, but I only enjoyed it a day. How about young girls who have to enjoy it for the whole rest of their lives? I need them to know it's not okay.
Yeah.
What I went through, it's not okay. Even if they decide to go on with it, as long as they know that they made their choice of something that it's not okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did say that you had a family, you know, consisting of a mom and a dad, I assume, and the
Yes, and two
babies,
kids.
right? And the
Yes.
2 kids.
Yes.
Please tell me, how did you meet?
Sure. You want me to blush? Stop me if I'm gonna cry on those time when we enter the set parts.
You know, yeah, but please tell us, how did you meet? What is your love story before
Okay.
it all?
When I was in high school, that's when I took Jesus. I accepted Jesus as my personal Lord and Savior. I think I was in grade 9. So from there, we met other brothers. You know those thing of we're Christian, we're not dating, we're fellowshipping. So there was this brother who was so into me. He's a pastor. So when we got to varsity, that's when he just expressed his own feelings. And at varsity, so we took it off from there. And I was with him for the whole 4 years.
Wow.
So
What were you studying in university?
I was studying HR.
HR, okay.
Becoming human resource management.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I need to get hired, you're the person to talk to.
Come to me.
I'm gonna
to
come
me.
to you. This is how connections are made. Yeah.
Well, life doesn't always turn the way we want it. I wish I was placed as an human resource manager that I may hire my whole country.
Of course.
But I'm doing payroll.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So we loved each other so much. I experienced love from him. I learned about relationships from him. I learned about the role of a lady and how a man can love you deeply. He had ways of advising me. I remember at that time, you entering at a stage where you're like, okay, I was rude. And he's Christian. He has to mold me. I was rude to people that were selling on the streets, amakula, and he was like, your approach is not really good. And I'm like, this is how I am. You can't change me. But he managed to change me. And to this day, I'm still grateful of the lessons that I learned from him. But as in Joel's, it ended in tears because he impregnated somebody at church. Yeah.
Wait, after how many years? 4 years of dating?
Yes. So he impregnated some lady I was familiar with. I didn't really know that it was that far. And I found out at 6 months. When I saw the pregnancy, I remember in Teflup, I was at a complex. So I see this lady, it's Sunday, she's pregnant. And this is the lady that we always discussed. It's a no-go area.
Yeah.
So I went to a lady. I'm like, hello. We were not fighting, but she knew that I was the missus, and she knew that she was taking me out to be the main missus. So I'm like, is that him? And she was like, yeah, it's him. Yo, and this dude, the whole of this time, he keeps me to his belt that I don't move and find out anything. I did not know
Was he a
anything.
pastor?
Yeah, he still is. He's a very gifted young man. I think perhaps we were growing up, as I don't know his ways now. So I'll take it as we were growing up.
Yeah.
So from there, I just said, okay, we had a bond of which we shared friends, we shared families, we shared church, we shared complex, we shared everything. Our lives were tied. And that's when I told him, I can't do this because you chose other things over me. Then I'm going to have to relocate because to stick around is to keep seeing you this way and getting hurt. So, or else I'm going to have to compete with you. And that is going to end up hurting me because you can't just rush in a relationship just because you are hurt. He fell in love perhaps, but I'm not going to do it based on falling in love. I'm going to do it based on reasons that will hurt me at the end of the day. So I moved out. I came to...
Wait, I'm so sorry to cut you. So at this time, you guys were staying together?
Oh, yeah. University.
Okay, university.
So,
I mean, a lot of us did that.
Yeah. I stayed with him in varsity. So when all of that happened, that's when I relocated. We were still deeply in love, but it had to be done. I remember he couldn't move on. I couldn't move on, but it had to be done because he's a pastor. He can't choose me. He's already impregnated somebody else. It's going to look like he's a twisted pastor.
Was that him or was it you looking at it?
He did not know what he wanted, and our leaders at church had to choose the side of money because you know how our main pastors at church are. They tend to put close those that have money, and if you look like you are from humble background, you're not really considered to be anything at church. So this other lady was from township Zanin, and everything from her family was well. So I saw that he could not make that decision.
You know, of course, like I'm trying to have people understand, but I'm also trying to understand.
Okay.
Like you are a pastor that is already staying with another woman, and then you impregnate yet another which
one.
means you are in sexual relations with the one you're staying with.
Yes.
And now you are in sexual relations with another one, and clearly you're not even using protection.
Because
and
there's evidence.
The only, how can I say this? So just for me to understand, right, this man is staying with you.
We're staying together, yes.
And yet he has impregnated another woman.
Else, yes.
So this is proof clearly that he's having sexual relations at home, but he's also still having sexual relations with another woman without a protection because how did she fall pregnant? And the church, the leaders, they never scolded him.
So when that happened, hence I'm saying the leaders chose a better money side, then that's when they instantly suggested that they get, I don't know what to call it, engaged.
Okay.
So I see with pictures, but already I was in Joburg at that time.
Okay.
With pictures that they're covering everything up with an engagement. But it didn't last long. I think, you know, when you're a main chick, you wash, you iron, you do this, you do that, you comfort him. You see him at his best and at his worst. And when you are out there at a side, you only see the beauty. But now it's time for you to step in and see all sides. No problem. Yes, so...
So when you moved to Joburg, you now saw pictures of the engagement online.
That they are ripping it with an engagement.
Wow.
So it didn't last long. I think it lasted in my relationship they could have lasted a year, but once I was out they didn't last 6 months. Once I was out. So the guy was obsessed with me. I was still in love with him, but nothing could have happened anymore.
But at that point you didn't have kids with him.
I didn't have kids with him.
You didn't have kids with him. And Just for us to understand, when you now confronted him after you found out, without like, you know, the church leaders and everything, what was his explanation? What did he say?
He got shocked because he went somewhere to preach, and that's the very same Sunday that I found out. So I asked the lady, don't tell him that I spoke with you. I need to speak him first. So when I confronted him, he got shocked. He wanted to deny, but he could see that there is no chance in denying it. Then he got frustrated and he walked out. Yes. So yes, that's the first love experience that I experienced. It was nice. I loved all the experiences that I learned in that relationship. That's my first relationship, and it groomed me and grew me into a woman. So I come to Joburg. There is this guy. I met him, I think it was a few months after I came to Joburg. So we met on the 21st of July, 2017. I was walking by and he saw me. He saw me while I was going to Pick and Pay. Then when I was coming back, he approached me. He was looking great. He was what I want to see. So I was charmed by him. I was charmed by how he spoke with me, because he spoke pure Sepedi when he was expressing his feelings to me. And his voice sounded like he was nervous. Like it's not something he rehearsed. So I loved how everything sounded authentic. And immediately, but at that point, I told him I can't engage and commit with you because I'm still going through my own things. So I don't really know where it's going to go. I'm not taking you seriously. So he said, I'll stick around until. And he did, because for me, I don't like rushing a relationship, honestly. During that time, I was hurt when the pastor did everything, and I started to flirt online so that I don't have any contact with anybody. So at that point, I found this person that I was chatting to, only to realize that this guy is in prison.
Which site is that?
So this guy DM'd me on Facebook. He was looking fine. And I'm like, huh? This guy DMs me on Facebook. He's looking fine as hell. Isn't there people on his street? There's something fishy. But I think 3 weeks down the line, he told me he's in prison. So for me, it worked perfect because I needed a picture. I didn't need a man. I needed a picture. So when I start to look like I moved on with communicating with him, posting us pictures, pic mixes, it was fine for me because that's what I needed at that time. So this guy, my guy, find me on a fantasy relationship with this prisoner. And I tell him, I'm waiting for somebody that is in prison, Baba. He said, in I come, and I'm not going anywhere. So there is this day, the prisoner was having a graduation, and this guy kept being nice throughout and throughout. This guy met my kid. I think it was perhaps a year later.
Wait, you moved to Joburg?
Yes.
How long before you started a relationship with the prisoner?
The prisoner, I started the relationships before I can move this side because...
Oh, you were still that side,
Yes.
then you moved this side.
Yes.
So now, you now had a child.
I had a child before the first pastor. I had a child, I think I fell pregnant in grade 11, then I had a kid at grade 12.
Okay,
Yes.
so when you met the partner, the pastor, you
Yes.
already had a child.
But he was already in my life. It's just that thing of saying he's a pastor and we can't get intimate, we can't date because we're a church. Then the other people will pazamisa the young lady. So
Wait, so you guys were together?
no. We were not together.
Oh,
It
you
was
knew each other.
Yes,
I
those
remember you
things that
said.
knowing that he wants me and
Okay.
he's into me, but he can
Okay.
never express it or act on it
Yeah.
because we are in this Christian growing.
Okay, no, I
Teenagers.
understand.
Yes.
So when you now went to varsity, that's when you guys started your relationship, but you
Umama
already had your
Gambo,
child.
yes.
Okay, I get that.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I had to go and attend the prisoner's graduation.
Which prison was it?
Mudabi. I don't know. Is it called Mudabi? Yeah. It's in Mudabi or it's called Mudabi, but somewhere there.
With the graduation, how long had you guys been in this fantasy relationship?
Yo, I think we lasted, 2 years? Yeah.
Owamie. And for how long was he in there?
In prison. He told me he's serving 9 years for hijacking and stuff, but I've doubts and I've never really investigated it because that fantasy ended.
Okay.
Yes. So when I was preparing myself, this guy of mine woke up. He knew where I was going. He woke up, and then I'm not an early morning person. Then he boiled water for me. Then he poured water, and he woke me up. He said, "Wake up, your water is ready." And then he went to sleep. I woke up and said like this, and like, am I stupid? This guy is amazing. He's doing all the amazing things. He has been nice. He never showed any side of aggressiveness or anger or any side that I can't deal with. And he met my kid, and he's so nice with my kid. My kid instantly bonded with him. My kid knows him as a dad. I've never told my kid, this is your dad. She was too young. She was still 4. And immediately she just called him, she just called him dad. I almost called his surname.
Okay.
Okay. So from there, I sat down and I'm like, no, I'm not going there. He was always asking me to post him, to love him, to commit to him. Then I woke him up and like, can we talk? Then I said, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you've asked me for all this time. I see you for who you are, and I'm going to post you, and I'm going to love you, and I'm going to commit to you and only you. And that's how it began.
So now when you posted him, I'm sure you're criminal. I'm sorry. I'm sure your criminal had access. Do you like block him or what? He didn't see?
I love finishing things clearly. I don't like twisting things. So I called him and I explained, listen, this is the situation. I can't wait for you no more. I found somebody. But I was also his fantasy, because when you're inside, you need somebody to keep waking up your mind.
Yes.
So he kept pursuing and pursuing. But by then, me and my guy were sharing cell phones. So whatever that it happens is transparent. It's either my guy answers or I answer. There was no way that he could have access no more. So it started there, and it was beautiful. We were twins. We were twins throughout the way. We were twins wherever you see us. We were beautiful. We were friends, great friends.
Yeah.
The things that I love to do, he loved to do. The way I just love transparency in my cell phone, he loved transparency in his cell phone. His cell phone is my cell phone. My cell phone is his cell phones. So we linked so much because we had so much in common. And that's when I fell in love with them. Yes.
Okay. So now, you've moved on from the jail guy. Even till today, you do not know if he's out or not.
No, he is out. He is out. He came out, he tried, but what the papers that I needed to serve there was already served.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't take it that serious. For me, it had to be an online thing where you share me your pictures, I post your pictures, and I look like I'm happy and moving on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to rush any relationship.
Would you ever visit him though in prison?
In prison? Girl, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, if I remember carefully, my degree was supposed to be 5 years, but it was 5 years and 6 months.
Okay.
And my relationship ended in 4 years, remember? So on the 5th year, that's when I was alone. And that's when I started to decide that I'm going online and just start to chat to people. So from Tefloop, I remember one time I visited him all the way from Tefloop to Mudabi prison.
With your money, Owamie?
With my money, love.
Wow.
I was so in love. They're good.
And I'm
good.
also just so curious, like when you got there, do you guys even hug?
Yeah, they allow you to hug, then you sit separately. Then, yeah.
And you guys were discussing your future, Owamie?
Yes.
With a criminal.
He was so convincing.
You know, when it comes to women,
Yeah.
we will see a red flag, a red robot, and we will be like, I can change it to green.
And it comes to prison love, they hook you. They tell you everything that you want. They heal you. They take all their time in there practicing what to say to you.
And on top of that, this person has all the time. So they are able to be there for you 24/7.
Thank you.
Unless their phone gets
Taken that side.
But yeah, no, I do get you.
Yeah, so he got out, and
Okay.
I'm just it ended there.
Okay, so now let's get to Mr. Nice.
Sure.
You and Mr. Nice now are okay. You're now in a full-blown relationship. Mr. Prison is now out. Your child loves the guy.
Yes.
And then what happens next?
Well, I was not working, but I'm that person that points, or you see, at Owamie, I'm going there and I'm going to be a cleaner at Owamie. So I was always that person when I was with him. I could tell him that, dude, we're not working. I'm not working. I just landed here, but I need to get something. So
Was he working?
He wasn't working at that point.
So how were you guys surviving if both of you are not working?
I had my means of, I'm just fresh from home, from varsity, so I still could ask them. So I would say we survived on me, because I am that person who survive on myself. So when you are in my space, clearly you're surviving on me, because my space is everything that I need my space to be. If I have a room, if I have this and that, and you keep coming into my space and seeing that I cooked some food, obviously.
You're gonna eat.
Yes. So that's, I'm just that independent. I make means and I make plans, and they mature. So I said, we need to find work. Okay, I was passing by this other place, they do Gota. Then I'm like, I'm going to work there. He was like, no, you have a degree. You can't go work there. I'm like, degree won't feed me. I am going to work there. Then after that, the following day, I went and approached the manager. I was hired. Then I started working there. He was still not working, but he was marketing now. So soon enough, he found a site. Then they needed people. Then I joined him, and we all went to work that site. I got promoted 2 times that site, and now I was working at the office as a dispatch coordinator. He was still at the floor.
Okay, what was he doing at the floor?
So it's a flight company. We pack food that goes to the flights.
Okay.
So now I'm in the office to check that all the stats are right. Who are we? What are we packing? What time are they gonna be getting the food and stuff?
Okay.
So I remember the managers and the big guys at the company kept saying, "Why are you still with this guy? Have you seen yourself? Why are you still with this guy?" And I just kept telling them, "I love him. I love him." I wouldn't say I regret all the choices that I made, because he kept me safe. It's rough out there. So I saw that there is stability in him, and I sticked to that stability for my plans to continue to go on, because I told you, I make my plans, I make my own space. So he fitted perfectly into my space.
Yeah.
But during that, we were earning less, and I told him, I just want to kickstart my mom's project of building her a house. So can you just, there are plans that you had and you could not fulfill them. While I do this, can you do that? Then we will meet each other 50-50 on rent and food. Of course we did, but he never did the plans that he had to do personally to uplift himself. While myself on the other side, I am growing. I keep sending money home. The building projects kickstarts, and everything goes on, and he's still stuck. Up until I got another job where I'm working now. I joined the company in 2018. It was still in Joburg. I joined them. Now it's office-based, permanently so, and everything is well. But I started as an intern. And then there where I left him, I think he told them he's tired. He's tired of working. Then he stopped working. Then I am the support. And I did.
I try my best to not judge. My face refuses. I don't know what's wrong with my face. Sometimes I wish I can beat it, I wish I had the poker face where I'm able to be like,
just stay,
but my face is uncontrollable. Because, no, man.
Yes, it comes a way long back then. I think I have a portion to blame myself, because I kept letting it. And letting it, I did.
But wait, when he was now leaving his job, had he spoken to you before at home?
Well, nah, he didn't say I'm leaving my job. It was sort of a short temper thing. Then you come home, you're not longer working, and I'm like, what's happening? And he tells me he's tired.
And you were like, okay, baby, it's fine.
I'm that person.
Wow, I will take care of you, Lena, my love.
Never did I say I'll take care of you. It's just that thing that when you're in my space, when I buy a sneaker, then sometimes I have to think of you. When I buy food, you're going to eat my food. But I can never be that person of saying, "Hey, let's go and blow my money on you."
Wait, but do you think that now looking back,
Yeah.
do you think that this man literally quit because he knew you were making enough to can cover both of you now?
Well, he quit because he's not responsible.
It's
He
lazy.
quit. Yeah, he does not see the reflection of reality that as a person you should be independent. Because when I met him, he kept saying, "My grandma has money. I need to ask my grandma some money. My grandma is old and she does not know what to do with me." And I'm like, "Dude, you're old. You're still crying over your grandma's money." So it's just the reality is way behind when it comes to everybody should work hard for what they have. I cannot blame Owamie for not feeding me. No.
Yeah.
By this age and time, everybody should be able to know how they survive.
Yeah, that's true.
So he quit because he does not think on how he was going to survive. He just said, "Kita di bona pele." But he has an advantage because there were rooms at his home where his mom left them her house. So there was a bit of income that came, but
It wasn't much.
nothing.
Yeah.
So from there, I took care of the situation. From that
You took care of
point
him.
on, yes, I kept working and working. I never quitted my job up until 2019 when there was COVID and the conditions changed. And I'm still in internship, remember? And when the conditions change, it affects everything in my life. Because internship, you don't earn that much. So that's when I'm like, okay, my mom's house is finished. The only thing that was outstanding was a roofing. And I'm like, I think I can take a break myself. Because I just, fresh from varsity, I kickstart. I never had to eat pizza because I kept rushing to say, if I finish my home first, then by the time I get a decent job, I'll be able to kickstart my own life. So after that, I fell pregnant then.
By him.
Yeah, 2020. This daughter that we share. So falling pregnant, it's still me. When I got my UIF money, I made sure that I know my responsibilities, that now I'm pregnant and I'm not looking at anybody to come and take care of what I did. So I took care of the situation. Here and there, he would assist with who knows what, but I'm the main provider of everything, including my kids to this day. So, but he loved my firstborn. He loved my firstborn. They linked like they are blood. Although he was not financially there the way maybe if he had money he could have been. But when it comes to providing the father figure, he was amazing. Okay. In 2023, 2022, they called me back at work and say, "Come back and work with us." Then I went to work. At that point, I started to assist him with all that I could for him to get a job. He got a job. Then I think a year later, he quit. And then he found another job, lucky him, the recent job. Then he fought with somebody else. Short temper. We were having ups and downs. So when we were having ups and downs, they affected him, I think, his emotions at work. And that's when he beat somebody out. Then from there, they just had to let him go. They couldn't.
Wait, are you comfortable to share what ups and downs were you guys going through? Because for me, I feel like this nigga was living the life, eh?
No, he was.
Anytime he doesn't want to work, he can just quit. His home will take care.
I was there.
What ups and downs?
Well, I think I'm that person who gets fully loved. Like I'm a fool in love.
You don't have to tell me.
You already know.
You and me? Yeah. Jesus.
So, if you want me to go deep, I'll go deep. At first, the guy was not disciplined when it comes to women. And it was not women from far. It was my surrounding. So I remember there was a point in time where I looked obsessive. Like I'm always after who he talks to, I'm always looking at Owamie with that eye that Owamie is mingling with my man. But it's because of the insecurities that he was building, because when this one moves, you propose this one. When he disrespected me so much. So I had to think of, okay, quitting was not an option because I could not quit. I loved him. And he loved me back in his way. So we were toxically in love, because I kept saying I'm enough. I left him, then he came, he begged, then I go back to him, regardless of whatever that happened. Forgive and forget. Then life goes on. So
you guys were not going through ups and downs. He was cheating.
Yeah, he cheated a lot.
I heard someone say that whenever you hear people say, oh, you know, our relationship has gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs. Just know one was cheating. You know, but
he cheated.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I cried. He cheated.
How many women would you say, maybe if you could remember, he has cheated on you with?
Lack of discipline. I can't count.
More
there
than
was
10.
lack of discipline there. There is the worst that to speak of. I can say maybe I'm exposing him, but there is worse. Yeah, there is worse. There is unspeakable, and I forgave all of that. But in the middle of the unspeakable, okay, I remember the last event when I came home and he started to make fuss about my kid not washing the dishes, and I'm like, why is this even a fight? Then immediately he chased us out. Yeah, he was good with doing that.
Chasing you out of a place where who's paying?
By then, we were staying at his home.
Oh, in one of the rooms maybe or something.
By the time I'm losing my job, I can't finance everything now, then we decided, let's go back to your house and stay at your back room. So by then, we were at his back room.
Okay.
So there was this other pretty yellow mellowed lady that came by. Maybe it was the first time seeing that prettiness. So I think he got hooked, and that's when he started those fights. And by the time he chases us out, we go, then he starts to propose. Then tomorrow I'm like, okay, I need to get into the bottom of this. I can't just let it go like that, because I know myself. I won't be okay. I go back, and only to find out that I told you my phone is his phone is my phone. I was holding his phone only to realize that he's busy proposing. Luckily, this lady was disciplined one. She did not allow it. And the many more ladies were not willing because of my presence. They knew that I'm one person they could not mess with, but only he did not know, and he did not see.
What were you doing to this woman, Chomi?
I was not doing anything. It's just that the way I conduct myself, it's very disciplined, and you can see that this lady has a direction in life.
Okay.
So from that point, that's when I said, enough, it's enough. That's when I mentally tapped out, when he proposed that lady, because you create a fuss, we leave, then you start to propose. It was your intentions all along. Then I did also the undeedable, the unthinkable. I did my things on the street where he could see it. Then I left the trace. But before I did that, I went and apologized, and I asked for apology for things that I don't know. I made sure that his heart was with me, and we have fixed things so that he can feel everything that I kept telling you. Stop this, you are hurting me. If you've got wishes of dating, go date somewhere far. Don't date here where my presence is always in. So he could not understand that point. Then I had to make him understand now, because I was tired. I was tapping out, so I was like, I can't leave him with not understanding what he's doing. Let me do it back. Gosh, I did. So that is a wound in his heart to this day, because he sees this guy every day. It had to be done.
It had to be done, honey.
Yes.
It had to be done.
He's hurt with that. He never healed from that. But the toxic relationship, he forgave me. I can't always forgive him. But I just made sure that I tell him that I just needed to show you how it's done. Because you keep proposing everybody in my surrounding. It's just that they don't allow it. But I just...
If they were... And I think that's another thing that people don't get. If you go and propose a girl and she turns you down, you cheated on me.
That's true.
this thing of no, I wasn't with you were not with
It
her, not
doesn't
out of your
matter.
choice.
Yes.
It was because she rejected you. That's the only reason why you didn't cheat with her. But you intended to. So to me,
It's a
every
cheating.
proposal is a cheating. There are people that don't get that part.
No, that's true. That's true. You did it. You willingly, in your mind, set your mind to quit this thing that we have. So you quitted already when you're going to tap into somebody else, regardless of them not taking you. So from that moment, that was a wound in his heart. But we got over it. Life moved on because I've been with this guy for more than, I think it's 8 years now.
You
8 or 9 years.
continued even after you did what he did in the street.
He forgave me.
So you moved back there.
Back to his home. Oh, this time I was renting, but in renting, I've rented since varsity and I was tired of renting. Then that's when I said I need to establish something of my own.
Okay.
Then I started to you're leading me to another topic. Owamie. I started to save up some money. I was saving and I kept telling him, I'm tired of this thing of being mistreated at your home because whenever we've got ups and downs, you have got the right to show me the door. So now I'm going to be independent. I'm saving to get a bond. I saved and he came home and he's like, yo, baby, there is this car that I saw. This guy I work with, he's selling this car. It's an amazing car. He convinced me and I was in love.
You took your money.
I took my money because I was saving my money in the form of equities. So already even the market was not doing good for me to be even withdrawing. I withdrew less than what I put in. And he assured me that this is the good decision. I'm doing the right thing and I'm not going to regret it. Did I not regret it? It was a stolen car.
So after you bought the car, the police now took it.
So I buy the car. Okay.
How much would you say you bought it for?
So the money that I took out, we agreed that we're going to pay in installments because it's somebody he works with. Immediately, I took out 15K at the spot. Then after that 15K, there was this guy now saying he want to go back to Limpopo. He's borrowing the car, blah, blah. Then my man is like, he's taking advantage because we don't have money. If only we had money, we could have given him. I'm like, okay, let me make a plan. I'm that person. He'll be like, if only we had money, we would buy ice cream. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
If only we had money, we would go watch movies. Let's go. So now, okay, I made a plan and I got 8K and I sent the guy. And that's when my car was not taken to Limpopo. So on that spot of taking out the 8K, I'm like, dude, I'm not satisfied. Where are the papers? You keep telling me of the papers. Where are the papers? He started to make fuss and act like he's angry with me because I'm questioning him. I don't trust him. I trust the strangers. You don't trust your man. Manipulation, I know. But I got manipulated because I was like, okay, back off. But not really and entirely because I did my search. And on my search, that's when I noticed that, okay, the car is stolen. The car, they're looking for it at Soweto. Is it Dobsonville? Yeah, Soweto. This guy who's looking the car is a cop. Apparently, okay, we drove there. Okay, now I'm depressed. You are humiliating me now because you convinced me into this decision. I'm one person where I make sure. And when you convince me into a decision, now the street sees the car, Connie has a car, Connie and the man has a car. Jiggy, there is no car.
They are walking again. Which car was it?
It was a white Mercedes. The same as mine. I had to make a plan so that I cover ihlazolelo. So that's when I had to go and buy another Mercedes that looks exactly. So not a lot of people noticed that it was
a different car
from the first car.
And he still got to drive this new Mercedes. I know.
So I think 1 or 2 weeks after buying the first car, the dashboard kept telling us that it's heating. So whenever I'm driving with him, I'm like, the dashboard says it's heating. The dashboard says it's heating. Then we'll cool it down, and I think it's a water pump. So after that, he asked to take it to work on Monday alone, and did he not break the car? The car was towed. The first car was towed. Now it goes to where he's working, and it stayed there along the time when we were discussing the whole case. And now, yes, I bought my other car that is not stolen. So now I need my money, but I can't get my money because he broke the car. So the guy is like, okay, give me the car the way I gave it to you. Then I can give you your money. He does not have a cent to fix the car. So now I've lost my money. It was a battle until one day we had a fight and we were breaking up, and I'm like, okay, how do you break up with me when you are my only chance of getting my money? Okay, let me take your stuff so that by the time my money comes in with this guy, because you are the main point of connection, you will come take your stuff. And did I not see the bed coming in? Kante, my money is in. This guy is busy betching inyao pela estratini. He's manyugu. He's buying me the booze. He's buying me the KFC and chicken lickens. We are blowing the money. We did not even send my kid a cent, Owamie, with my money.
So that guy sent him the
Yes.
money and he chowed it.
I think he sent him 15K, and he blew it. He blew it. And by the time I realized that, I know my person. My person has no connection with money at this time. We're not expecting any money. He's not working. Where is he getting all this money? Ugh, man, this is my money. I got mad. But I can't walk away from the situation. I had to rescue myself, because I've learned throughout this whole thing that you choose yourself and see what better suits you. Skangala, if ongala, it's going to hurt you. So I had to sit tight. I had to act like I need more and more alcohol so that I can see the pin. So I saw the pin. Late, I drove the car to withdraw, and he's using this bank that has Islamic and stuff. It's a difficult bank to navigate. And it does not only take money from any ATM. Early in the morning, I made sure that I went to the bank. And how much did I find? I think I found 2.7 from my money. So that's the money that I rescued. And I'm like, dude, how could you do this?
And what was his explanation?
I had his phone by then. Okay, I had his phone. I had the money. He was drunk. He was flat. Then he said, somebody took my money. I was like, not me. Don't look at me. You're speaking of my money. My money that you didn't even tell me, not me. But later I told him, yes, I took my money. It's my money. And I had your phone. Here's your phone. I gave him the phone. So from that point, life continued. Now I've got my own car, this one.
Would he drive it though?
Yeah, but this time with me monitoring everything, because I can't go through the same situation twice. So fast forward, everything was nice. Everything was amazing, because I'm the main provider. But this time, I made sure that I got my own stance. You can't do that to me twice. I'm like, I have to work hard so that my kids don't suffer the very same thing. Because I told myself, I can rent forever, I'm working, but will my kids rent? So now I have to make a plan that will be permanent. And I secured stands. So now I'm like, dude, I'm not coming to your home no more. If you want me because you say you love me this much, you'll stay with me where it's my space. And it's peaceful in my space. It's peaceful. I'm not a proud person. So now this dude quit this current job that I told you. Then we are expecting UIF. It took me a while to put it in my head that we're expecting money. He kept saying about it, please connect me. What's up? Okay, I just need to check my UIF. I'm like, oh, Konjo, we're expecting money. By this time, I bought a second car, and I bought it for Uber. And the wait is too much, because it's not yet on Uber, but the installments and stuff
going off.
Yes. So I'm unable to care now. Life is hard, and I have to feed everybody. It's all on me. So I had to let go of my second car. When I let go of my second car, he made requests of money. And I'm like, dude, you know where this money is going. This money is going to where I took it, because now the car could not fulfill the purpose. And once you buy a car and you sell it at a loss, no matter what.
Yeah.
So I sold it at a loss, and you were there, but you want money. Which money? Because I don't even have money.
What did he even want money for?
Yeah, he wanted money. He said
To start some business or something?
he always have business ideas.
Of course, it's his
but
type.
They never mature.
Of course. Ow, of course.
He always have business ideas, and he blames me for not partnering. But I can't partner with you because I don't see direction in everything that you do. The first thing that I blamed him for, it was when he went and borrowed money to buy dinner. And I'm like, you don't borrow money to buy dinner when you don't even have a cement or sand. We don't do that. The rain is going to fall on the dinner the whole time. And no, man, we don't do that. So that's when I started to see what I engaged myself in. That's when I started to realize that I should choose myself and make sure that just because he's going backward, I'm not going backward. So with that dinner, later on when he had his money from the first company that he was retrenched, he took dinner and bought 20 cements, and he built a wall with 20 cements. Okay?
A wall for what?
A fencing wall. A wall, it's only built with 2 cements.
So how did he use 20?
That one was very strong.
Did he do it himself?
Yeah, he was doing it himself. Double dinner, double this. You know what? Everything was just, hey, there's money. Now the money is blued. Then I come in, because that's the kind of life that we live. So now we are waiting for this money. Just after I sold my car, you want the money. I'm like, you are a man. The reason I'm selling my car is because you're not assisting me in any way. It was now your time to say, listen, I'll help you here and there so that we can save the situation. But I made the decision, the tough ones, because you're not saving the situation. Now you even want to come and make demands. That's unfair.
Yeah.
Because in the meantime, we eat me, we live me, we bath me. You can't do that. You didn't even support the kids for the whole year. I'm still here supporting the kids. You can't do that. So I think he understood eventually, after not understanding for a very long time. Then his money came in when we always waited for this money. You know, the pain of waiting. His money came in Monday when I was at work. He calls me around 12. It's like, I'll talk to you. I'll explain. You can't believe it. I'm like, what? Is it money? He's like, you can't believe it, but I'll explain. Then I instantly knew it's money, and he doesn't want to tell me because he knows I'll advise him. I mean, I have to advise you. If you blow this money, what are you going to live on next month? Or not even for me, because for me, I think the situation already wrote me out. He doesn't even think that I have to be this way. Nah, it's on me. But yourself, cater for yourself for next month at least. By the time when he was calling, he was going home to break that 20 cement wall.
Why now?
Because it did not look the way he had desired it to look. He kept saying that he want to break it, and we kept advising there's nothing wrong with the wall.
He must have really gotten a strong hammer, hey? 20 cement.
He hired people. Just paint the wall and do the gate, and that's it. It does not need breaking. What's done, it's done. I helped the situation of building a home at my home, and I know certain things don't go the way you desired them to go. So, but he did not get that. He knew that if he told me that, I was going to go against it. So he did it behind my back. I come home, the wall is busy being broken. You did not cater for the kids that you did not support for the whole year. You're still not catering for them. Okay, fine.
They will eat that wall.
Yes, then it's painful because I take care of you 24/7. It's not my kids that you can be this way. Then, everything else goes on. The wall is built, the beers are bought, just my kids. My kids are not catered. And that's when I was like, why are you doing this? You are hurting me. Because I love you unconditionally and I serve you unconditionally, but you're not replicating the love to me. So he got angry, then he walked away. He moved out of my place. And the morning of that morning, I'm like, moving out. Because he got money. Hey, he's going to blow it and come back and I'm going to forgive him. I know myself. I went and I played nice and I played soft and I played sweet. And he eventually, I said, I know that we're breaking up, but my main desire was to take you to Ocean Basket. But now that you have money, we can go to Ocean Basket. We went there, we said, I remember going to the bathroom and crying because I'm here eating the prawns, but you still did not cater my kids. So I told myself at the bathroom of that Ocean Basket that this is it. Love yourself, Connie. Do better for yourself. Choose you. don't do this to yourself, because this man can never love you the way you desire to be loved. Also with the kids. So from there, I think by the time we left there, he had already sent me the money with complaining, because there's some words that you took out that I'm making him broke.
How much money did he even send you?
Okay, he said he wanted you're gonna laugh. I support my kids with 3,000 every month. He said he wanted to take out 1,000 each, which means 2,000. Then utom bechaga 1,000. I said no, 1,000 for supporting a kid that you never supported the whole year, and it's December. It's ridiculous. He said, okay, suggest at least just make it 1.5. Still, it won't be enough for everything that I do. But I understand that this money, you have to sustain it until then. So he gave me 1.5 each, and he also gave me 1,000 for myself.
So that's like 4,000.
Yes, that 1,000 that comes once in 10 years.
You felt like my man treated me.
Never. Oh, I mean, I spend. My petrol every day has to be 100 rand per day. So I spend. I spent this money with him, and he's looking. Because by the time I've put 300 on my petrol, I go there and I tenga ishebo. I love inyama, and I love nice food. I buy them. So I always blow it on his face. So I was like, thank you. So fine, now I'm sorted. Because that's the final chapter that I needed. Because for so many times we kept, even when he was building the first wall, we kept arguing about the kids. And whenever we argue about the kids, wangala and leave the situation. So I knew that this is never going to change. He can never love them the way I desire him to. Regardless, Yoguti, I take care of him forever and always. He still doesn't see that. He cannot see that. I am wrong to put myself in that situation now, or I'll change him. He's not changing. I just have to acknowledge it and accept it and move on. So now I tapped out. The minute he signed it, I was like, good shot. Jiggy, there was a funeral at his home. Now begins my story. When there was a funeral, he comes to me and asks, my grandma passed away. I need you to help me because you've got a car. Can you please be my support as my partner? And also, we're going to need your car as a family. This family was not talking together, and I had to always tell him, I don't like this thing that you're not talking to your siblings. I need you guys to fix things, fix your issues, because you are one at the end of the day. So now they are one. We spoke it out. We are the party, because he has got a brother, and the brother has got a partner. So our party, me and my partner, we are the one that fix things by going to their party. So now everything is sorted. There is a funeral, then they make arrangement, and I'm happy. I mean, for the first time, this guy last went home that day that I met him. I met him 21 July 2017. He last went home there, and I'm like, this is not on. You should go home. So now I'm happy that he's gonna go home with his siblings. Oh, by the way, I forgot. That was the last time he went home, ne? But recently I had to go home. I think 2 or 3 months back. Then I'm like, let's go home. At least you'll see your home. He wasn't interested. He was talking about going out with this person and that person. I'm like, dude, you always go out with these people. Can we just go home? I'll cater everything.